Welcome, everyone. I am so delighted that you're here with me. This is Dr. Marcia Martin, the heart healer. And not only do I want to introduce you to the angels and all of the help that you have, but I want you to understand that the angels are here to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with life, all that life entails. So instead of feeling like you have to compartmentalize your life, that there are things that you can ask the angelic realm to help you with, and things that you need to figure out on your own, learn to see your life as a whole and invite them into every aspect of your life. They will be more than happy to help you and to guide you, and what we're doing together here with these lives is learning how you can best take advantage of their help and what you need to do in order to receive the maximum benefit from their interaction with you. So today we're going to look at what is luck, what is gratitude, how does gratitude help you improve your luck, and who are the angelic helpers that you can call on to be in the right place at the right time? It's no fun to keep hearing stories about, oh, I had this wonderful lucky outcome. Well, you feel like you're anything but lucky, as though you things are not going well for you no matter what you try or how hard you feel that you are working towards your goals. So let's take a look at what you can do to improve your luck. So, when we talk about luck, it's sort of happenstance. It's this happy thing that happens that's unexpected, that brings you good fortune, but it's usually random. It's always, oh, look at this wonderful thing that happened. I'm so lucky, as opposed to, I just continually flow in this space of blessings. And I consider myself to be very blessed and very lucky. So, the first thing that I want you to do is get out of the headspace that luck is a random event that you have no control over, or that luck is something that just happens once in a great while, and you can get excited, but you know that maybe tomorrow you're not going to be so lucky. You can have things start to go your way, but inevitably that tide is going to turn and things are not going to continue to be going as well as they used to. That gets very discouraging. That makes you feel like, oh, why bother? And so, what we really want to focus on today is that luck is not something outside of you. It's not some random event that you might just happily or luckily happen to run into. Luck can be predictable. And one of the ways that we can make it more predictable is with gratitude. As I know truly, before I understood the power that we have here, my life was quite unpredictable. Luck for me was always fleeting, unreliable, and I felt that it was unable to be controlled. I had no control over my life. I was extremely depressed, very unhappy, and no matter what I did to try to make things better, inevitably, I felt that I failed. Now, here's an interesting thing. It didn't matter the success that I was having because I wasn't willing to see myself as successful. So it didn't matter that even though everybody told me it couldn't be done, the first book that I wrote was accepted by a publisher. Usually you go through revision, 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 revision. And I was writing romantic suspense novels at the time. And everybody told me, "Oh, you can't get, take whatever offer they give you. It can't be done. You won't be accepted. Expect to have a lot of revisions. And, if you're really lucky, they'll notice you." My first book was sold to a publisher. I didn't consider myself a success. I didn't see myself as lucky. I just kind of felt like, okay, but it wasn't the greatest publisher, and the sales were not as good as they could have been. And I had all sorts of limiting factors that took this thing that was supposed to have been wonderful and made it very small, made it very difficult for me to continue on this path of joy. So, this is where the proper use of gratitude is really beneficial. It's easy to be grateful when we're feeling like things are going our way and we have what we want and we're sort of on that lucky streak, that roll when things appear to be going with very little effort in the direction that you want them to go. But then there are those times when you're feeling unlucky. That's generally when you'll feel disappointed, discouraged, ungrateful. And you might start singing the song of "Why me?" or "Poor me." I know truly, before I understood the energetic realm and how to work with the angels, I spent all of my time in the poor me zone. I couldn't figure out why things were not working out, but I sure felt sorry for myself that they were not going the way that I wanted them to go. So during those times, and I'm sure during times, similar times in your own life, grateful is the last thing you're feeling, especially when you're on the losing end of life or the unlucky time. You feel like everyone and everything is against you. You might feel that the universe hates you or is punishing you. How many times did I say to myself, "Oh, I'm the most unlucky person in the world," or "Oh, I must have been really bad in a past life," or "The universe just hates me. No matter what I do, I can't please the universe." Or, "I made a lot of mistakes. I guess I've been being punished for all of those mistakes." And another one that I really used to use to an enormous degree was, "Oh, this is karma. I am getting paid back for all of the mistakes I made when I didn't know better, or mistakes that I made in another life, or even people who I may not have been kind enough to when I was doing well, and they want to get revenge on me." Doesn't matter whether any of this is true. And for me, really, uh, I'm not acting toward others much differently than I acted then. I've always wanted to be kind and loving. So where I got these scenarios of I must have been an awful person because I didn't answer the phone when somebody needed me, or refused to work for free, or something else, I would make up crazy reasons why I wasn't supposed to be blessed, because I felt like I wasn't being blessed. I wasn't lucky. And I didn't want to feel bad about the fact that things weren't going well in my life. So I made up excuses for why they should continue to be bad. And then it didn't seem to hurt so much. Now, when you are in that place, you are holding a belief that's going to keep you stuck. And that belief is that luck comes to you and not through you. As long as you believe that luck is somewhere outside of yourself, that it is something that someone can give to you, or an object can give it to you, or a ritual can give it to you, then you're not owning your role as creator. And if you're not able to own your role as creator, then you're not allowing yourself to really understand and take advantage of what luck can do for you. As long as it's outside of you, you can't change it. You're at the mercy of an angry God, and you have no control or responsibility for the way that your life is unfolding. So let's get to some truth. Let's find out the way the angelic realm really works. Because when you understand your power as creator, you will be excited and delighted to participate. It is only because you have an incorrect viewpoint that you haven't been able to do it up until now. So the truth is that your beliefs shape your reality. Your belief about a situation determines how you experience that situation. If you're afraid, you're going to experience a different reality than if you're calm and, oh, I got this. It's two different ways of looking at the same situation, and also two different outcomes. And that's what's so important. So when you're in fear, when you're anxious, when you are believing that you've got to manipulate something outside of you in order for your life to feel better, you feel out of control. And when you feel out of control, you can't relax and be calm and make good judgments. So, therefore, you're experiencing a world that is very scary and in which you have no control. And this lack of control, this need to just try to manipulate things outside of yourself, determines what your thoughts are going to be, where you place your focus, what your actions are going to be related to this. So I'll give you an example from my own life. When I was afraid that things would go badly, the only thing I thought about is fear. I used to say that I would eat fear for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What's going to go wrong? I have to be prepared. Because I was constantly in that state of fear, I had closed myself off from circumstances that would feel good, and I had opened myself up to circumstances that would feel not so good, because those were in line with my thoughts, my beliefs, and those were the actions that I was taking. I was causing myself to have a bad experience because that was all that I was allowing into my life. No one outside of yourself has any power over you unless you give it to them. I was giving all of my power away by believing that outside forces were more powerful than I was. Every single one of you has a gift. You may not be able to feel that you can access it because it is probably located in your subconscious, and you may not have been given instructions on how you can find it. And you may have an erroneous belief about what you can and cannot do. Or perhaps you have a trauma bond with fear or experiences like that. Or you have learned and never questioned behavior that was presented to you either through your ancestral line or your direct family line or your culture or where you are living at the moment. But while you are doing this, you are living from the outside in, and everything around you has the power that should belong to you. This is where gratitude will really help you begin changing things. Because gratitude is the act of appreciating or being grateful for or being thankful for everything you already have. And this was another place where I got really confused. So I'll share that with you in a moment too. But gratitude will help you keep your focus on what you can be, what you can do, what you can expect. It helps you determine what you really want, what feels good to your heart, what do you like, what are you good at, what do you want to do. When you realize that you have options and you don't think that you have to just take whatever anybody stuffs down your throat, then life is going to feel a whole lot better. And it's going to be easy to get excited and get delighted and say, oh, wow, I am so grateful. I appreciate so much all of these wonderful opportunities that I am now seeing are available to me. Gratitude puts your attention on the inside, on the you that is truly you. It does make you responsible for your choices, for your thoughts, and for your actions and reactions. But that is the way that you are powerful. As long as you are giving your attention to something outside of yourself, you're not being powerful. You're being powerless. You've given away your power. Gratitude will place you in the power seat. You become the observer of what you want, what is desired, and also what you already possess. When you really start getting aware of what you already have, as opposed to all of the things that you feel you'll never be able to access, but you really want, it's so easy to be grateful from the place of, wow, look at all that I already have. It's impossible from the position of, well, I don't have anything, and it doesn't look like I'll ever get more. That is a misperception because you believe that someone has to come and give you things rather than more comes from within and goes outside of you to create or to bring to you what is desired. So, gratitude places you in that position of power and puts you in charge, makes you go inside out, and helps you begin actively pursuing what's good. When you are focused on what's right because you are looking for things to be grateful for, you suddenly realize that there are more things that are right than there are that are wrong. When I was focused on what was wrong was all I could see. My life didn't change when I first changed from seeing what's wrong to seeing what's right. There was no immediate shift, but suddenly I began realizing that my life was much better than I ever realized it was. So I got excited, I got delighted, I got really appreciative of all that I had because suddenly I could see that I had quite a lot that I could work with. Even though nothing had changed, I had changed. My viewpoint had changed, and I began aligning with what was wanted instead of getting in lockstep with what I didn't want. It also helped me to step out of that attitude of anxiousness and fear, that belief that only bad things were going to come to me. Instead of anxiously hoping that the outcome wouldn't be bad, I began to lay the groundwork so the outcome would be good. So I'll give you an example. If I'm having a bad day, or I wake up and I'm feeling cranky for whatever reason, I have a choice. I can sit in my house and feel even more miserable, or I can go out and go for a walk. And I happen to live in California, and the birds sing, and the air smells good because there are flowers everywhere. And often little hummingbirds will be flying by. So I have a choice. I can sit in my house and feel grumpy, or I can get out, start walking, breathe in the fresh air, look around at the abundance of natural beauty, and get filled up. Get feeling good. Get feeling grateful, because I am so grateful for where I live and for all that I have been given. Now, I also have another choice. I can get up and I can be feeling grumpy, but I can say to myself, I'm going to go for a walk. But instead of allowing myself to really get excited and anticipating the beauty and the joy of that walk, I can continue reviewing everything that's wrong. The hummingbird will fly by, the flowers will still be there, the birds will sing beautifully, and I will probably step off the curb and twist my ankle, because I am not focused on what I have. I am focused on all that I don't want. And we know that law of attraction only brings to us that which is already inside of us in the form of our thoughts and the energy that we are holding. So when your focus is on gratitude, is on what's right, when you are actively grateful and in a high vibration, you are automatically lucky. Because luck is really nothing more than being in the right place at the right time. So luck actually equals alignment. Now let's take a look at a proper gratitude practice, because gratitude is going to help you stay in alignment too. So, where I got off the track is I thought I had to be grateful for everything. Well, I wasn't grateful that I had $10 in my wallet and I needed to purchase $50 worth of groceries. So instead of using gratitude the right way, I kind of used it as a reason to be resentful. Oh, look at this. Things aren't working out for me. I knew they wouldn't. Okay, I only have $10 and I need about $50 worth of groceries. I should not have applied gratitude in that way. You are not grateful that you only have $10 and you want to buy $50 worth of things. But you can be grateful when you go into the store with your $10 and start seeing that many items that you need are on sale. You can be grateful that this wonderful opportunity for your $10 to go even further is available to you. So gratitude is not pretending, it is not lying, and it's not manipulating. Instead, it is a deliberate focus on what's right. It is genuine. It is your choice. And it is a redirect of your attention. You must do it continually, and you must actively participate. Now, by continuously, I mean I actively look for what is right. There will be patchy moments where something comes up and I'll think, but I, as quickly as I possibly can, go back to being focused on what is right. It doesn't mean, though, that if something is really wrong that you do not allow yourself to express it. This is not, that would be lying. So you can say to yourself, "Oh, I think my grocery list is $50 and I only have 10." Now, from that place, you can say, "Oh, poor me. I never have enough money." Or you can say, "Okay, I have $10. I'm so grateful that I have $10. Let's see how much I can buy for $10." And then, after you've made your purchases, you look in the bag and you are actively grateful for whatever it is that you were able to buy. You don't look at the in the bag and say, "Oh, I'm so grateful I didn't get soap," if you really needed soap, "because I didn't need it anyway." You did need the soap, and that would be lying. So you do reward yourself with what you need. You don't try to take less and get by and make do. You instead change your focus so what you are encountering will change. So again, we are not happy if we have $10 for $50 worth of groceries. We're not doing a happy dance that we might have had to put some items back or choose a different um, item than the one that might have been coveted. But we are delighted that so much was on sale or that we were able to get so much. So perhaps you love Dove soap. I'm just making things up. Don't worry. You don't have to go buy Dove soap. Perhaps you love Dove soap and it happens to be $10 a bar. And you notice that there's the store brand Dove soap, and that's $1 a bar. Okay, you're not going to lie to yourself and say, "Oh, I'm so happy that I couldn't buy the Dove soap that I love so much." But you can say to yourself, "I'm really delighted that I could get something similar, and I hope it's going to be just as good as the Dove soap that I love so much." Now, if you try it and it's terrible, then you would not buy that. You would not make that trade again because it would feel like you were cheating yourself. So you never try to trick yourself or the universe into giving you something, and you never try to trick yourself into or the universe into believing that you're happy with something when you're not. You find the things that you can be genuinely happy about, and you go over the top with excitement about those things. So I want you to stay in the space where you feel you deserve good things, that you feel you are worthy of receiving. And make sure that what you are asking for is something that you desire and not something that someone else told you you should desire. It's something that you will feel good about having and can get excited about. The more enthusiasm that you are able to generate, the more you add emotion that is feeling good emotion, the better your life is going to be. The quicker you're going to be able to manifest those desires of your heart. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say you have a partner and your partner wants a boat, but you get seasick. So you're not going to be grateful that you're getting a boat, but you can be grateful that your partner is getting something that they deeply desire. This does not mean that then you would say, "I don't deserve anything," but you would have to identify what it is that you do like for you and then be open to receiving that. You want to make sure that you are honest and redirecting your attention from what is not wanted to what is wanted. That is imperative. You got to acknowledge your feelings. No trying to cover it up, sweep it under the rug, pretend that you're not sad. Acknowledge it, look at it, see whether it's realistic to be sad about this particular thing, and then as quickly as you can, get back into your high vibrational space. If you try to cover up the emotion, the sadness, the depression, or whatever it is, instead of examining it and moving beyond it, it's going to become a huge problem. Just remember to redirect to what is right as quickly as you can. You don't want to stuff in your feelings of pain. You will become resentful, angry, and jealous. And those emotions are an exceedingly low vibration. And that's going to keep you stuck in the pattern that makes you feel as though you are unlucky. It's going to make it really difficult for you to be grateful. So get away from your depression, but don't pretend it's not happening. First, look at it. And as always, clear that space in your heart. Replace it with things you can feel good about. And then stay in that aligned place with gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful that all of these things are working out. I feel so lucky. I'm so grateful. That is the aligned place. That's your high vibrational place. Luck equals alignment, which equals a high vibration. Unlucky equals out of alignment, which equals a low vibration. So when you're lucky, you're feeling exuberant, you're feeling excited and delighted, you believe in yourself and you see yourself as worthy. That is in alignment with the way the divine see you. When you are in an unlucky place or seeing yourself as unlucky, you don't feel worthy. You have no gratitude because what are you going to be grateful for? What's going right? And you are out of alignment with what the divine sees is possible for your life. You've got to believe it before you can receive it. You've got to be open to receiving it before anything the divine is sending your way will become known to you. You're always going to be given the blessing, but you must be able to see it, to receive it, to believe in it before you'll be able to interact with that blessing. So I love heart healing. It has changed my life tremendously. And it made all the difference for me. So I'd like to invite you to get to know the angels even better. Your two helpers today are Archangel Shamuel and Archangel Uriel. And those two helpers are fabulous. We're going to talk about them next week. But if you really want to go in depth with the angels and you feel that no matter what you do in terms of, study, it's kind of an uphill battle, and you'd really like someone to kind of guide you along and make it easy, then please join my mailing list because I am having an angel summit where I am going to teach you how to communicate with the angels. I'm going to share with you what you can and cannot expect from them and who they are. Who can you call on for support or for help? And how do you call on them in order to make sure that they will answer you? That's all happening in our Angel Summit. So hop on our mailing list. You will be the first to know about the Angel Summit, and it is going to be magnificent. In addition to Archangel Shamuel and Uriel, you will have access to the entire angelic realm. And it's all happening very soon. Get on that mailing list. The link is below, and be one of the first to know and to have the opportunity to interact with the angels. Next week, I'm going to share Archangel Shamuel and Uriel with you, powerful angels. You don't want to miss this. And when we get ready to do this angel summit, we're going to go into even more depth, give you tools that you can use so that you will never feel that you're out of touch. So remember, lucky equals alignment and a high vibration. So lucky, maybe we should make that 4. Lucky equals grateful equals alignment and a high vibration. And when you hold that high vibration, nothing is impossible. All right, everyone, that's all I have time for today. This is Dr. Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and I'm sending you all my love.